Secretly recorded from deep inside the bowels of a decommissioned missile silo, we bring you the man, one single man who wants to bring light to the darkness and dark to the lightness. Although he's not always right, he is always certain. So now, with security protocols in place, the protesters have been forced back behind the barricades and the blast doors are now sealed. Without further delay, let me introduce you to the host of Hutcast, Mr. Tim Hutner.
Thank you, Sergeant-at-Arms. You can now take your post.
Happy Day of the Sun, which is Sunday for the rest of us. Today's conversation, well, it's going to be a little late because we've already got a release going for this Sunday. Let's talk about the Kyle thing. I mean, it's kind of a big thing out in the world. It sets a lot of precedents, and a lot of the lefts are just screaming and crying about it. Kyle Rittenhouse and his verdicts today, which I'm sure is on every topic of every news station in the country. Stand by for Hutcast, coming to you next.
We hear a lot about air quality these days, so keeping your indoor equipment running clean and efficiently is important to your health. The experts at Dependable Heating and Cooling in Coon Rapids have been servicing the Twin City areas for more than 25 years. With the latest and most efficient technology available, they will repair or replace your equipment and keep your indoor air healthy and comfortable. Call 763-757-5040. Our team of experts is standing by, waiting to help you with all your indoor needs. Mention you've heard about this by listening to the Hutcast podcast, and you will receive a $50 off any repair. That's Dependable Heating and Cooling. 763-757-5040. Dependable Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, how's your Sunday going today? As mentioned in pre-roll before, last Sunday's edition of Hutcast was about blocks and Ron Flood, so we had to skip a week ahead. Now, we're going to be kind of late in the backside of this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and it's kind of a big thing in the world. You know, if anybody's any 2A'er is probably glued to the TV set. I know in our facility we had every version of everything that we could possibly put on and watch the jury and the trial and the whole thing. And I do believe in this case, justice has been served. So we're just kind of hanging in here and going, all right, what's this thing really about? It's not just about Kyle and his freedom. It's about a country. It's about a country and the ability in which they have their rights and freedoms to protect themselves. So it wasn't Kyle on trial. It was our Second Amendment, our right to protect ourselves. Okay, yeah, I agree with a lot of the people out there where the kid's in the wrong place at the wrong time, but why isn't he? What makes him not be there, and the pedophile and the thief and the, I don't know how many other guys were there, the crap starters. So if you look at it that way, he has just as much right to be there as those pukes did. They all had guns. Most of them had guns. One had a skateboard, which is still a weapon. And that weapon was used against him twice. And that guy died. I don't know about you, but you start swinging a longboard at me and I'm carrying a pistol, it's still a weapon. So think about that as a whole. Now, I know that I'm preaching to a lot of 2A'ers out there and in a lot of different countries. See, the countries that we talk to out there, you know who you are. Some don't even allow guns to happen. And I'm perplexed by that. But, you know, that's the difference in technology and cultures. But when Kyle's attorneys, basically, if you think about Kyle's attorneys, they sat back in kind of cruise control mode. Well, the prosecutor damned his own case. And still, to life of me, I can't figure out why. Why is this guy ruining this case? He did it himself. Gage gets up there and they start questioning him, and he's like, are you sure he's on the right side? But I got to hand it to the guy. He said the truth. He said it out there, and okay, it helped Kyle's case. Let's go back to the attorneys. This prosecutor for some reason, had this notion of, well, I don't know. First of all, he's swinging his rifle around in the jury. I mean, he's got his finger on the trigger. Didn't that get somebody in trouble in the news here a little while ago? Baldwin. Didn't that kind of screw him up? And he does this on on live TV, and all the gun guys had just you could just hear him throughout the country at one point in time going, "Oh, really? He did that?" Obviously, he's not a gun guy, because nobody would have done that in any fashion, loaded or not. He didn't have a flag in the chamber so that he could show that there was nothing in the chamber. Literally pulled his gun up and started aiming it around. Huh. That kind of sounds stupid, doesn't it? I mean, even though you know it's unloaded, you would have to show everybody in that courtroom that it's unloaded. I don't know. I just don't get that point of it. So that's what he did. Now, back to the Second Amendment on trial versus Kyle on trial. If you really think about it, Kyle was the vehicle of this. This whole U.S., we're going to hate guns, we're going to HR8, HR9, we're going to destroy these guys. No. You are so far from that. And this Wisconsin judge, hats off. Man, if I'm ever in trouble, I'm going to change a venue to that guy's courtroom, because he pretty much called it the way he saw it. And I like what he did. Not because he won, but because he stood up to the stupidness that some of these lefts think that they're entitled to. So back to this guy with the ruining his own case. Again, I don't know why, but every step of the way he started talking stupid. What was the other prosecutor? The big guy, bald guy. He pretty much went to the prosecutor and to the judge and the jury and says, well, too bad that Kyle couldn't fight like a man and bring his fist to a fight. Bring his fist to a gunfight. Okay. Gage had a weapon. The other guy had a skateboard. The black guy didn't have any weapon, but the other ones were all fully armed and ready to go, and they admitted it. Gage says, if I would have shot him, I would have got first, and I would have had no issues with that. Where's his trial? I want that guy on trial right now, because he was carrying a weapon when he's on probation for federal charges. He can't have a weapon. And this guy walks around Kenosha with a weapon? Let's see where the left takes that. Now, again, this ain't a left or right thing. This is more of a right and wrong thing. But anyway, I am perplexed why this is all like this to this point. Think about it. If you watch the trial, you could see each step of the phase where the prosecution was trying to make a case. They couldn't. So they started panicking. This prosecutor's got to have a new job after this one, because I don't even know, unless he intentionally threw it. If, the conspiracy's coming out at me, if he actually tried to throw this thing so that this kid could walk, well, then it's a mistrial. There's no reason why he should be an attorney at this point, or a prosecuting attorney. If you didn't want to try it, just say no. But he took it. The thing that's going to be the worst possible thing here now is this got pushed just before the Kim Potter thing's going to Minneapolis here. And that's going to Ramsey County. So they're taking it out of Minneapolis. They're going to Ramsey. Again, I'm sure it's going to be a crap show over there. Black Lives are already spinning it up. Black Lives spun it up for Kyle's thing, too. What's with that? So you really going to stir this up when the white kid, well, he's part Mexican, killed the white guys? And Black Lives is going to stir this up because of what? You guys really need something to do. This is so not even part of your agenda. And it's not just about black, white. I get some of these guys are saying, well, it's about the inadequacies of the police doing this, that, the other. You're right, to a point. Where are the police departments? Where was all these guys? They weren't in any place that you could use them. The cops, make a perimeter and they put all these people in this soup, and then everybody else runs around? They should have been out there right up front with lungs and I don't know. So where do you guys sit on this? Think about it. You people in other country, you have different versions of the same crap. How do you handle this? What do you think of this? You could chime in on the website for the Facebook site of Hutcast. Just take and tell us what you guys do in your country. And I would imagine this is like global news in the whole world. I mean, not just continental United States, but any place there's media. I mean, you're listening to me. So what are you hearing about that? Some countries don't allow them to have guns. And I'm talking about you Australian guys. Now, I know you have them, but you can't legally have them, or some form of, you got to do this. How do you get around this? How do you protect yourself? What does your Constitution say? Do you have a right to carry, or do you have no rights to carry? The guys who come up from the race teams, they look at us like we're crazy, but I get what you're saying, but you're having the same issues. Now, your lockdown thing, what if your government comes tyrannical? Are you going to just say, okay, how do you fight back? The Second Amendment's not about deer hunting. I can clue you that. Not about hunting for food. It's about protecting your rights as a citizen, your rights as a human. A whole lot going on in the world. And I just can't believe that this is normal. This just cannot be this is normal. What has this country gotten to when this is considered okay? And at what point do we stop it? Well, Kyle took that stop. He's that kid, and he's a kid, who took that first step. And I watch all these things on Hatebook. The kid should fry, the kid should this. The biggest thing that got me between all these people is I saw a meme that says, Kyle took the first shot. Is it better you than your grandkids or your grandkids' grandkids? When do you stop this? I don't know. I guess now? And this ain't a ploy to get everybody revved up and out there, taking back the country and forcibly doing this and this bullcrap insurrection crap that the left tried to push on the whole country. AOC's got therapy now because she's all upset that she was somewhere on the grounds when this happened, and now she's like freaking out. I don't know. She's crazy. And I don't think a lot of people, even on the left, would say, yeah, she's not crazy, because she just doesn't have, either they don't have it or I don't have it. I don't know which quite is the variable here, but in check, somebody's got to have some common sense here. Now, you lefts that are listening, if there are any lefts listening, you wanted this. You got this, and now you don't know how to handle this. You've earned this. You don't deserve it. Deserve is a matter of entitlement and statement. But you earned this crap. You all blame Trump. Yeah, Trump was an a-hole. Trump had a lot of things going wrong for him. Trump couldn't shut his mouth. Trump couldn't stop texting. We all agreed to that. But even the left should agree to things were a lot easier, a lot fluent as far as our economy, as far as our status in the world, was much better when Trump was pushing the buttons. Because I don't know, Sleepy Joe's got a whole lot of things going on that don't make sense to me. But he is still the president. Remember that when you vote next November. Or in 3 Novembers from now. So to stir this back to Kyle's thing, he's got this. He did this. And hats off to this guy. I wish there was a website that we could actually trust and do a GoFundMe for him, but GoFundMe wouldn't start a page for him because he's the aggressor. All these people that started banging on this kid. Do we remember the Indian kid that was in front of the Capitol, and the Indian guy wanted to do this, and they all started to call him a racist and that? $250 million worth of settlement from CNN and all the news organizations. Please, Kyle, please push that button. Because just maybe it'll shut these clowns up who sit in front of millions of viewers and start taking sides before there's even a side. I don't know. Please push that button. I watch Dan Bongino, and he puts these little quips out there, and you gotta take it in full context, because he'll cut short a little bit, but he gets the point across. He is for that. He cannot wait for that. And personally, I can't wait for the lawsuits to fly. Kyle's still not out of trouble. He's cleared the criminal charges. Now he's got to clear some other charges from wrongful death suits. Oh, stand in line. So if I was his defense attorney, I would pretty much say, well, it'd be prosecution at this point, defense on that point. If he starts his lawsuits, make sure they drag out longer than the lawsuits that are going to come against him. Personally, I would want to collect the money before he actually goes out and loses it in case he does get a wrongful death suit going against him. 3 of them, or 2 for sure, and 1 attempted, provided these guys are not in jail. That's just kind of how I see that. I hope he does do that. I really, really hope he pushes on that. His attorneys, all these guys should be lining up. I highly doubt this kind of a case that he had any attorney's fees to begin with. Because really, anybody want their face on this case? Except for the prosecutor. He looks so stupid. He was a guy that you just went, okay, so you're the C- guy in law school. Well, we got it. We know you. I hope he ends up at someplace looking for another job, because that guy needs to go away. You got my feelings on this. You know what's going on. I get it. You other people out there, when you're in a different country, let us know how you guys handle this. And on Canada, you guys really enjoyed the last couple shows. You don't have a Kyle Rittenhouse up there, or we don't hear of it. I would sure really know what you guys do up there in those kind of cases. And I do try to pay attention to international news as well. There's so much posted on the Middle East. There's so much posted in Iran, Iraq. You don't have time for Canada or Mexico. When was the last time you heard anything out of Mexico? Never. Maybe the cartels have information down there, but we never get to hear anything around here. It's always about the Middle East and how somebody's stepping on somebody's turf. I don't know. Right into the show. Send me a message. I'm out there. We are about 16 minutes into this first segment. I don't know how many more segments I can do on Kyle before I just beat this horse to death on it. Just same stuff every day. And I don't want to be that show. I want you guys to engage. Plug into this. Focus. Let us know what you think. Let me know what you think. And again, I do post this on a lot, and a lot of people see it. Tell us what's going on your side of the world. I would really like to see that. It can't be just about us and the 2A, and it needs to be a little nicer than this. So for Hudcast, I appreciate you all tuning in. Looking for some great information across the world. Thanks everybody for listening. Again, Australia, I hope I didn't step on your toes about the gun thing. I would really like to hear more information about that. Hudcast signing off. 15 minutes and 30 seconds into this. Thanks again, and be well, people. And that's a wrap for Hudcast. Hudcast is, again, a pragmatic approach to seeing things how some people see them. If you like our show, give us a thumbs up on the Facebook site. Again, for Hudcast, thank you again. Have a wonderful evening.